Giants with the 3 first-round draft picks. Of course, the headliner guys, Daniel Jones. And the question is, it seems like David Gettleman here, Cam, is staking his reputation on the fact that this is the next franchise quarterback.
That's a very gutsy move that they made, but they had to be sold on Daniel Jones, right? You don't make that pick unless you do all of your homework and do so many just researches and just talking to Daniel Jones just to see where his head is, especially at the quarterback position. You're talking about being a quarterback of the New York Giants for the future. Obviously, Eli is still there, but I think overall it was just a solid pick. You want to have someone in the stable once Eli decides to, fade off into the sun.
And what it tells you right now is the Giants are moving on from Eli, right? And that's kind of a big deal. They're making that statement really out in the NFL in general. But what a guy to learn under. I mean, it reminds me of the Eli-Kurt Warner situation, and then Eli ended up playing over him. So is Daniel Jones that good? I mean, it's possible. He's looked good in camp so far. He's been calm. I like the guy's demeanor, but he will be exposed for what he actually is in New York. You look at the New York market.
My issue is that the takeaway right away is that it was a bad pick and he can't play. And everybody thinks they're an expert. The reality is 99% of us have not been able to watch 99% of those who are drafted. I think the NFL draft has become one of the most overhyped, overcovered event the entire year. Daniel Jones, who knows? Monica, who knows?
There's a couple things that stood out to me in this entire process. One, if we look at the currency, I'll say, over the offseason, it's a lot of this relationship business this year in the NFL, right? We talk about Sean McVay looking for the next Sean McVay. And so part of this obviously was linked to Cutcliffe and him being a quarterback whisperer and the potential for Daniel Jones. I understand why fans probably were a little bit taken aback. He wasn't a guy that jumped off the page. But to your point, unless you're someone that's dutifully covering the ACC in particular in college football, you don't know. Now, what I will say is I don't know how quickly we'll see him on the field. I don't think Eli is ready to walk out there yet.
No.
Now, I'm not sure how the Giants plan to handle that, but learn under, yes, but we also get all these stories about current quarterbacks being especially competitive with the young guys coming in and maybe not necessarily teaching in the way that makes you think warm and fuzzy.
Well, it's a tough position to learn, right? You're talking about playing quarterback in the NFL, and he has a great teacher in Eli Manning, right? Eli has been to the pinnacle. He's won championships. So that's the thing that on the side of Daniel Jones that you have to be confident about. And just making sure that the relationship is good. At some point in time, we know that Eli's going to have to pass the torch.
Nothing from Eli, though.
That's true. But I think that's the smart thing to go for. Just kind of learn who Daniel Jones is before you just go out into the media and say, hey, this guy's this, that, and the third. Spend some time, get to know each other. Then you can come out into the media and make your comments.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree. I mean, Eli can't say much right now, and that's typical of Eli Manning in general. He puts his head down. He does his job. He's quiet about things. He's a total pro. In all honesty, Daniel Jones, we'll see what happens. I mean, he's a guy that reminds all of us, we were talking, he's like his little clone.
He is.
I mean, what a guy, though, that you're going to learn from. He already has a great arm, but you're right. We have to see him play.